Jungle. Audio Jungle.
They did not even, they were confirming. No, is it confirming or denying? They were neither confirming nor denying, if I got that right, the existence of that document. And they said if there are any constitutional amendments that are in the pipeline, they will, let the public know. But I mean, judging by history and how these guys operate, they think we are dumb. But anyway, Hansi Zoni, it has come to my attention that a document entitled Breaking Barriers Initiative, bearing no named author and allegedly referenced in a purported dossier. I don't know why they continue to say purported dossier when they responded to that dossier. But anyway, recently submitted to the presidium of the governing party, NPF, is being disseminated widely across social media platforms. Such dissemination is accompanied by unsubstantiated and verified and uncorroborated assertions that the document constitutes an authentic representation of the official stance of ZANU-PF and the government of Zimbabwe regarding proposed arrangements to the constitution, amendments to the constitution of Zimbabwe intended to supplement and give effect to the party's resolution number 1, first adopted in October 2024, right? So they are saying that it's a misrepresentation of the official stance of ZANU-PF. Right, the official stance of ZANU-PF, as per resolution 1, number 1 is 1, they want to extend the Emerson Mnangagwa's time as president. They want to introduce constitution, amendment to the constitution to give effect, to that. What else, do they want to do? They want to make this a parliamentary, process and not involve people via a referendum. And what else, what else is now apparently the official, position of this. They're already drafting whatever bill they need, to be introducing to Parliament. Ziyambi said, he read something to that effect, and that is being implemented and that is being applied as we speak. So I'm not sure, where this is a misrepresentation of the stance of ZANU-PF and the stance of this government of the day. I'm not sure, but anyway. It goes on to say, whereas multiple submissions from legal practitioners, experts, and scholars have been tendered, proposing sundry amendments and procedural mechanisms for the implementation of the resolution, and with submissions having been presented since November 2024, some directly to the party, others to Parliament or my office, and whereas no determination has been made, rendered to adopt, endorse, or advance any such proposals, my office is not able to comment on or verify the authenticity of the circulating document, which may, in all likelihood, be spurious, fabricated, or manipulated, particularly in light of the dubious source of this disclosure. So, in some way, they are telling us, okay, this document might have come to them, it might have gone to Ziyambi, it might be gone to Parliament, it might have been presented, elsewhere, but they are not in a position to confirm that that document, exists. So the existence of this document is being said because so many people, so scholars and others, have and experts have prepared supplements or amendments or or whatever that they've prepared, and those have been tendered or those have been handed over to maybe his office or maybe to parliament or maybe to, but he's not prepared to confirm whether that document exists or it does not exist. But the possibility and likelihood of that document existing somewhere on their desks, somewhere in their cupboards, or somewhere in their drawers, or somewhere on the computer, right, under a tab that has been that is password protected and probably written confidential, resolution number one proposal, whatever, whatever. That exists, that reality and that possibility is there. It exists, but only that he cannot, oh yes, or only that he cannot say oh no. So that is where we are. So once the relevant authorities make a decision on the precise amendments to be made in the process for their enactment into law, the public will be appropriately and transparently informed. Until then, any fascination or preoccupation with a document reportedly leaked from dubious sources and lacking a named author is a total waste of time and an unfortunate disservice to the national interest. In the meantime, the public is advised what to be what punish them, I can't say properly, is to guide what, to be guided accordingly. Okay, to be guided accordingly. So they are saying they're in the process of making these amendments, but they're saying that this document has got no author. But if you go to the last pages of that document, you're going to see a certain company that has been attributed to have been the authors behind this document. So I'm not sure why they are saying that this document has got no authors, because the name Glenn, this Glenn guy is there, but the name that is not there is Professor Jonathan Moore, and we would understand why his name is not associated with this document, even though it is being said that he is the one behind this. And if you want to see why he is the one behind this, go to his post, go to his tweets and read what he is posting pertaining to the need of dealing with the toxic environment that is created as a result of a disputed election. By merely reading that, you can connect, the dots. At the present moment, we are in the business of connecting, the dots. But by merely reading that, you can connect, the dots with the Blazari Momuchinich. Because since when Hondo Yakatanga, Blaza Vavari, a cheerleader of Emerson Mnangagwa, when he is on record denigrating Emerson Mnangagwa left, right, and center, even short of calling Emerson Mnangagwa Nezurumburugwa, he almost got to that. And all of a sudden, he does a somersault. And one of the telltale signs that can tell you that Uiblazwe Arimoy. Just look at the way the Warakashi are now behaving towards him, are treating him. And I was responding kuna mkomo wangu niginiki nasi, you posted something to do na Jonathan Moyo earlier on, And this is what he said. I want to read that verbatim, so that ndisataure zvinhu zvemusoro wangu kuitira kuti munyatsoziva kuti haasi mashoko angu. Zvakandizo naNick Mangwana 11 hours ago. Don't get emotionally, that emotionally, I mean, when you write emotionally. And then he says, in the high stakes game, yeah, listen to to the language. In the high stakes game, even the most hardened player can read you the cards, right? A backflip in the political gymnasium is still a demonstration of agility. And in there attached is the picture of Jonathan Moyo. So I mean, you can be, with all these things, you can now begin to create the evidence, and put it there, and make a determination. Could where is this evidence pointing to? And by reading what he is writing, Jonathan Moyo, you can begin to see with panapa kapa pane kamwe kanhu kari kuitika panapa apa, and vanhu havanogona kunge vari uyu munhu anogona kunge pamwe chete. And he says kuti he goes on. He has posted that press statement, but there's something that he wrote yesterday which is particularly interesting. Zvikanzi, heaven forbid, if for whatever reason as a Zimbabwean you are trapped in the treacherous position where any positive development in Zimbabwe or any good story about the country is bad news for you. Hello? Wasn't this guy yesterday? Is the one, anything that comes out of Zimbabwe ananga achingoti Emerson Mnangagwa chiko chaanogona iye. Emerson Mnangagwa is the worst of them all. Emerson Mnangagwa is the incompetent of them all. Emerson Mnangagwa is this. Emerson Mnangagwa that. He was on his one song. This, a professor. But now he's telling us kuti ukaona munhu anongoti pikerere, even paine zvinhu zviri positive zviri kuitika mukati menyika yeZimbabwe, munhu iye ane dambudziko. So he finishes off by saying kuti any good story about Zimbabwe is bad news to you, because from your perspective Zimbabwe must fail for your politics to succeed. Wasn't he the gentleman who occupied that position yesterday? Saka chaiba chinas. What has changed today? What good things have happened in Zimbabwe for him to do a somersault? Akutoita champidi gori kuita somersault, and then by doing that champidi gori and somersaulting, he's having a go at people that are in the position that he was in yesterday. Saka zvinoonaka zviri kwaashuga kana zvakwamunyu makuti izvonhingi azvichaita. So if you are looking at all these things, you can begin to say, okay, pane game rikutambika panapa. I'm not saying kuti pane game rikutambika, but I am saying on the weight of evidence dzedu nhingi hadzemusango, you can build a probable cause kuti there's causation here. There's a particular day, and there's another particular day, and if you mix this particular day, it brings out something. So it's quite interesting. But now, what then drew me, because some of us we have got a limitation in terms of zvakachinzikoni pane wedhi rataurwa najaji. Jaji ari kuverenga nyaya yana Mike Chimombe. Ane wedhi raari kuita keep on repeating. Hanzi, I heard it 2 times. Hanzi decipher. Yeah, I think decipher. Or decipher or decipher. But I think he is saying saka iwewe you can be in a position to decipher kuti pane zvinhu zviri kuitika panapa. There's something that is going on. Pane something chiri kuitika panapa, which we need to pay attention to. But anyway, I like the bottom part of that statement that has been put out by Ziyambi. The statement, if I can reread that again, it says once the relevant authorities make a decision on the precise amendments to be made and the process for their enactment into law, the public will be appropriately and transparently informed. Ipapa ndopanda find that interesting kuti aiwaka. All right, let us look at the likely amendment that is to be done. Because you cannot stop us from talking about the likely amendments that are to be done. Because we have ascertained the official position of ZANU PF as a political party and as a government with their Vision 2030. They want Emerson Mnangagwa to be there until 2030, or probably, or even beyond. So, what are the mechanisms? What are the constitutional amendments that can be done for these guys to get to where they are supposed to go? Remember, yesterday we spoke about the 5 barriers, which they are saying, Kutizo, they are finding an antidote for, or they are finding a remedy for, by making sure that our politics does not become toxic. So, to them, the problems that we are having in Zimbabwe, developmental issues that we are having in Zimbabwe, the reason why we have got investors who are not, who are not readily coming through, vachinatsoita development or vachinatsoita investment in Zimbabwe, is because of our toxic elections, our toxic politics. So what they want to do is they want to remedy that situation. And by remedying the situation, is to take away, according to what is being widely expected or being widely spoken about, is to take away the right yako iwewe neni yekusarudza mutungamiri wenyika, something that is something that some of us we hold dear close to our hearts, which is fundamental when it comes to our politics, and why some of us have got a vested interest in our politics. Because by this that is coming to say, because if you are looking at whatever it is that happened in 2023, ceteris paribus, let us hold everything, constant. Remove that, the election was not free and fair. Remove that the election was biased. Remove that the election was rigged. Remove that, there was fuzz. Remove everything to do with that election and let us focus on the results. Ceteris paribus. I am saying, given that outcome, that happened at that particular moment in 2023, there was an alternate winner that was mentioned by Priscilla Chugumba. She mentioned the winner to say that this election, the winner of this election is Emerson Mnangagwa. And the contractual agreement that was entered into at that particular moment is to say Emerson Mnangagwa is going to be in power for the next 5 years. That was the contractual agreement. Him and the citizens. Forget about everything. That was contractual agreement. So now they want us to enter into another contractual agreement that says Emerson Mnangagwa should go beyond the 5 years. He should have another 2 years. So so there is another contract that is to be drawn. And that contract is going to be binding on every one of us. In as far as utungamiri, utongi wenyika yedu, in as far as the one who's sitting at the top, at the apex, as far as that person is concerned, They want us to enter into another agreement that goes beyond the agreement that we was signed with Emerson Mnangagwa on the in 2023. In
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.